Namaste, namaste, beautiful friends. Welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I am Shelly. Today I am inspired to speak on surrender. What does it mean to surrender? In yoga, the final pose of surrender is called Savasana. It is the laying down pose where you lay and you let your feet go and your arms go, and you're, so to speak, forced to be one with what is, to just letting go. The first time I truly understood what the word surrender meant was when I was giving birth to my son Milo, who is now 6. He was a VBAC, a vaginal birth after C-section. I had a C-section with my daughter and him, and I was in this beautiful birthing pool. And if you have not seen that video, I actually shared that experience on this channel when it was called Storybook Sisters a ways back. I've evolved this channel a lot, but it's a beautiful birth experience. I'll share a link at the end of this video on there. But I remember being in the birthing pool and these strong, intense waves of squeezing contractions and so much pain. And my midwife said, "Surrender, Shelly, surrender." And I felt my whole body tensing up and clenching everything, and then I just felt myself let go. And I allowed myself to be present with what was, and I didn't fight. I wasn't holding my shoulders up by my ears anymore. And although I was still in deep pain, I allowed myself to just be. As in daily life, yes, we're not always giving birth to babies, even though it's really intense. And if you have had that experience or been around somebody who's experienced a natural childbirth, you will know it is crazy. And if you don't surrender, then it doesn't go as well. But in life, surrendering to what is and just letting go of all of the perceptions that we have and all of the control that we think we need to have over every situation. I know so many of us have struggles with thinking that we have a certain plan and life has to go this way. And then when life doesn't go that way, we freak out, we have panic attacks, anxiety, we just feel like we have no control of anything. But the thing is, in real life, we really don't have control of things. We think we do, but we really don't. The universe, the divine, whatever is surrounding us, is divinely guiding everything. Even something as small as, the big but birth of your child. You don't know exactly when that baby's gonna come unless you're like, I'm getting a C-section on this day, or I'm setting up an induction, and even that, you don't know. Or even you think you're gonna start a new job or a new career path, and you have this idea of exactly what it's going to be like, and then you show up, and is it anything like that? No, it most likely isn't. Or with children. I have 3 kids, it is summertime, and I am actually going to homeschool them this next year. And it's going to be crazy, and I keep having these moments where I feel so overwhelmed by my children and all of their flurries of emotions. But I'm just surrendering and letting go, because if we don't try things in life, then we never know how they're going to pan out. Homeschool, to most people, might sound like, oh my gosh, why would you ever do that? Because my daughter needs extra help and I can give it to her, and I can do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just surrender to what is. Or another crazy thing, my friends, crazy to me, but my family has put this beautiful house, which we love so much, on the market to sell, and it has been almost 2 months, which, just 2, sounds to some people, oh, it's not a big deal. Well, I had it in my mind, it's gonna sell in a week or 2 weeks. Oh, the time passes, and if you've ever put your house on the market, it is crazy shenanigans with 3 kids, and we have a little puppy, and it gets super messy, and the waves of me not knowing where we're going to live, I get these flustery rushes, and they come up, and then when I surrender and just trust, and I believe that everything happens on its own perfect timing as we are ready for it to happen. So we still don't have a house in the mountains where we're going to move, and we still have this house, but I am grateful for this home, and I'm filling this home with the vibration of love, I am opening up to expanding and bringing our new home into fruition. Surrendering to what is and just letting go. And a beautiful tip that I would love to share with you today is this book I've been listening to on Audible called Luminous Life. It's luminous, like you're illuminated, but with an L, Luminous Life by Jacob Lieberman. And he has this beautiful exercise, and he says he meditated, for 20 minutes every morning, which I do, and sometimes more. But throughout the day, life happens and rushes, and kids get crazy, and life happens. And how can we bring ourselves back into the moment when the moments get chaotic? My son is screaming and yelling, and he ran up the stairs and yelled that he hates me. Oh, what? That is like the saddest thing ever. And instead of attacking, just breathing in, saying, no thank you. Oh goodness, that's not good. We'll clean it up. That's Jackie.
No, it didn't work.
Okay, thank you. The glass did not break, Jack said. But just surrendering and letting go, and I got distracted, so just learning how we can surrender. And coming back to that, Jacob Lieberman he does a 1-minute meditation. So if you can, not every hour on the hour, but every time you're feeling way overwhelmed and stressed out, let's use our pranayama, our breath, connecting our breath and our life force together. So just whenever you feel overwhelmed, stop what you're doing and just breathe. And sometimes putting a hand on the heart and one on the belly, or both hands on the belly, is going to be a way to ground in. Or a yoga mudra. A mudra is something that you do with your hands, of connecting the pointer finger and the thumb together. And you can keep these 3 fingers closed or open, but by pressing those down, and even if you're not in a yoga seat, even if you're just sitting, or even if you're driving in the car and you're feeling overwhelmed. In this beautiful book, Jacob shares how when we're engulfed in thinking thoughts and we're thinking so much, we aren't allowed to be present. So then we can never surrender to the moment. But when we can find this consciousness, this sense of presence and being, when we breathe, we're allowing life to happen to us. We're not fighting it. It's just like that saying, have you ever tried to swim upstream of the river and the river's pushing back on you and it's just like clawing and fighting towards life? This is what happens when we stop breathing. Well, we breathe, but our shallow breaths. But if we can connect that prana, that spiritual aspect of ourselves, into our breath, then we can go with the flow and we can just carry down, because life isn't supposed to be so hard and crazy. And if your life is feeling so chaotic and so hard and so overwhelming and so crazy, take a moment to stop, ground and breathe, and look around. Because whatever you're doing, you might need to stop and not be doing that thing and redirect yourself. I find myself doing this all the time. I've actually been working on these lovely paintings I'll share with you. This is Ganesh and Tata. And even just working with those paintings, I find myself in moments where I feel so frustrated when I'm not present. And I'm over-analyzing and overthinking what my painting should look like. Everything goes kind of to shiitake mushroom sandwiches, poopy down the drainers. Or like I was saying, my son, who just got home from a sleepover, was being a crazy banana sandwich and telling me that he hated me. And my ego, the part of me that edges God out, that edges the divine, the love and the light around me, want to be like, ah, don't you say you don't love your mommy. And then I breathed it on back. I'm sorry, Milo, I love you. I love you. My beautiful friends. So today, I encourage you to surrender to what is by breathing. And I am in my office here, and we don't always have to have a perfect yoga setup, but this is my painting room, my office. How about surrender? to what is in Savasana. So, my friends, be the change that you want to see in the world. And that starts with us first. So even just laying here, and let whatever feelings or thoughts or emotions that are running through your body, give yourself compassion and just let it course through your body. Because as the great William Shakespeare said, this too shall pass, and it all will pass, my friends. I love you so much. And surrender today and breathe deep, expansive breaths. So much love and gratitude and light, my dear friends. Namaste. Surrender.